And joining me again is Mr. Mosiri Tsiane, who's the chairperson of Mosiri Attorneys, and also where he is a South African Liberty Foundation chairperson. Mr. Mosiri, if you can hear me, can the Corn Court force a secret vote in Parliament, given the separation of power principles, especially given that it seems more of a political gambit than a legal one?
What we expect the court to do in this regard is that we expect it to enforce what the Constitution is, and also to put in place what our democracy says, that there should be a separation of power. But also this judgment that we expect the Corn Court to give us is that it should clarify the mistake that we perceive was done by Judge Valley, that says that the president must give reasons as to why he must reshuffle why did he reshuffle his cabinet. Now the Corn Court should clarify that issues and clearly, without any ambiguity, make it conspicuously clear that there is such a thing called separation of powers, and that the other should not overstep the boundaries and go into the other's role. We expect that this Corn Court will give us a ruling which will clarify, which will put in line what we expect it to be, that there is a separation of power. And we are hoping that this debacle that keeps on going on of opposition parties always running to either to the Constitutional Court or rather to our courts to fight political battles should be set aside for once and for all, be put at ease, so that politicians must know that they must fight their political battles within the political ground, and should not make court come and interfere in an arena when they are not invited to do that. We expect them to stop inviting courts in political arenas. But we are expecting ourselves in particular, but having also pursued or perused the Constitution, it is clear that this matter is a matter for politicians in the Parliament, and that the Constitutional Court cannot interfere in that. And the rules that the parliamentarians that they make for themselves should abide to them. That separation of power should be adhered to, and for all principles and all purposes, there should be, in the name of democracy, be a separation of power.
Mr. Tsiane, I'm going to have to hold you right there, and please do stay on the line for us. And on the line, I have Mr. Bantu Olumisa, who's a UDM president. Now, welcome, sir, to Prime. Now, expert says that the secret ballot gambit is a political one. Now, in that case, what are your expectations from the Corn Court?
Well, I didn't listen to what you were saying to your audience before, but the application we've made to Corn Court will be heard tomorrow. I would urge you to be patient and let the last word be said to the judges, whether we were wrong to go there. And I'm sure they qualify also to lecture us on the so-called separation of powers. I'm just not in the mood to discuss the substantive issues of this case. I think I've responded to your question. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
All right, so we do appreciate that insight, Mr. That's Bantu Olumisa, who's a UDM president right there. As you've heard that, he said he will not be commenting any furthermore. And also joining us is Mandla Simelane, who's a political analyst. Now, welcome, Mandla. Now, will a secret ballot not open the floodgates for horse trading in South Africa's democracy?
I think, firstly, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. But I think it's critical that we emphasize that there should be a separation of power. But the way things have gone so far, the judgments in court have seemed to be against the government. And I don't see any changes tomorrow that the judge the Corn Court will then pronounce otherwise. But however, what is important for me, I think, from an NC perspective, if the judge does rule against them, I think it remains to be seen whether the members of the NC will vote in favor or against. But I think it is critical to note that the NC is, in fact, under siege. It needs to begin to get its house in order. Because it's not speaking in one voice. thus you see the opposition equalizing on those weaknesses within the party itself. I think for me that's critical for me more than anything.
Now, is it not putting individual conscience above collective conscience, indigenous in a party, or rather in a party of political system?
Come again?
I'm saying, is it not putting individual conscience above collective conscience, disingenuous in a party political system?
No, it doesn't for me. I think it is fundamental that the members of the ANC haven't moved in a cohesive way. And as a ruling party, you need to constantly show direction and to always speak in one voice, not to speak in multiplicity of voices that then later conflate the issues and weaken the organization itself. Thus, you see that there's this massive noise in the country because the leading party is not at the center of government. It's constantly dealing with issues of infighting and weakened by political struggle within the party. I think what's important is that the ANC needs to learn a lesson going forward on how to address these issues and how to govern again as a cohesive force as they have done in 1994.
Now, does a secret ballot subvert rights of a majority party in parliament, now denying it the majority status benefits?
Look, the constitution and also in parliament do not explicitly state that a secret vote is allowed. I think this is a difficult call to make because it's only when it's explicitly stated, both from a parliament perspective and the constitution, because the constitution says the no vote of confidence is allowed, but it doesn't explicitly state. So in this case, it would be difficult. I don't think that judges will have an easy job on their hands, but it is not for me to decide in terms in relation to those legalities, because I do not have that deeper grasp, and I'm a bit hesitant to over articulate on this matter. But the explicitness is required in this issue, I think, in my.
Now, before I let you go, Mr. Simelane, aren't the fears of reprisal raised by UDM taken care of by immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislator Act?
I did not get that. Come again?
Aren't the fears of reprisal raised by UDM taken care of by the immunities of a Parliament and Provincial Legislator Act?
Sorry, you are breaking. I could not hear that.
All right. I'm saying, can you hear me properly, Mrs. Simelane?
I can hear you now.
Yes, I'm asking, aren't the fears of reprisal raised by UDM taken care of by the immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislator Act?
I think they are, but however, in this instance, they think to achieve a particular goal, which, in my view, from a constitutional point of view, they may succeed, but in terms of how the previous vote of no confidence has gone, I do not see them succeeding. That's my overall view. They may succeed in this instance at the constitutional level, but however, at the political party, at the politics level, I do not see them succeeding in the proceedings in the national assembly.
All right, thank you so much. We do appreciate that insight. We were joined earlier on by Mosire Tiane, UDM President Bantu Holomisa, and the political analyst we just spoke to right now, Mandla Simelane, who was giving us an insight on the secret vote in Concord.